Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Teller Morose, joined by my co-host YOYO, and this is Tier List Tuesdays. Today we are going to be a bunch of nerds and assessing Pokemon types in the tier list format. And if you don't know what that means, S is the best, F is the worst. And we're going to go through all of these over here on the right and essentially grade them on how we feel about the Pokemon and the moves and the usability of them.
Okay, so we are doing viability, just to be clear. We're talking about the meta of Pokemon.
Why not? Yeah,
okay.
We can get into it. Or if you don't want to get into it, we can just leave it to like, hey, fighting type Pokemon are cute or something.
Well, that's kind of... I wasn't really sure, because I wasn't sure how, up to snuff you were on the Pokemon meta.
Well, I'm not deep into it. I've been playing Pokemon since, I think that was the first video game I ever owned, actually, was Pokemon Yellow on, the gray brick Game Boy.
Neat.
And I'm actually right off the heels of beating Pokemon Shield, the main story.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can get into... I don't know enough about, the stats and the strategy of it all, but I can get my way through it, if you'd prefer.
We'll see, because I'm kind of curious, because if we're talking competitive viability, then some of my favorite things are going to be, sad.
Oh. Well, tell you what, go off of everything. Go off of, are there Pokemon you like, that match an aesthetic that you like? Go with, are the moves cool? Are the Pokemon cool? Whatever you want to, base it off of. I'd say just an overall... How much do you like it?
Okay. That sounds fair.
Cool. So we start with normal.
B. The basic.
B is in basic, bruh.
They're the baseline. They can't go anywhere else. If they're not in B, where are we going to put everything else?
Well, I already have slight disputes. I can do B, but I want to try to sway you a little bit. Are normal Pokemon really ever, ones you want to keep in your party?
Snorlax, yes.
Okay, Snorlax is a good exception. I'll allow that one. But, can you think of, normal type Pokemon that you really just, want to have around? Be honest with me here, because this means a lot. There's
a lot of really cute normal types.
Okay.
And while they're not the most competitively viable, they're not garbage.
You know what? Yeah, you got me there. There's some cool normal types.
Oh yeah, Regigigas is normal.
Oh, okay. I forgot all about that one.
He's a legendary normal type. And I guess technically Arceus is normal too. Although it takes on the type of the plates. Or does it have to have a normal plate? I don't remember.
Okay. You know what? You're swaying me towards B. I was trying to sway you towards C, to be honest, because they're just passable. But I don't know, there's some good ones in there.
They don't really have any super bad matchups either. So that helps.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. You've swayed me. We're going B?
Yes. I think B's
all right.
Good.
B's solid. It's good.
Gotta pull up my Pokemon type chart so I can remind myself.
That's fair.
Yeah, they're weak to fighting and don't take anything from Ghost. That's it.
Yeah.
Easy matchups.
But are they super effective against anything?
No.
I don't remember off the top of my head. Yeah.
They're not.
I feel like that's why it should be in C, because it's they're cool sometimes, but
they generally have, or not all of them, a lot of them are kind of garbage, but a lot of them have decent enough stats.
Okay.
And they have access to a lot of unusual moves because they are normal types.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is dumb, but, makes sense.
No, they gotta have something,
Yeah.
Also, I remember in some of the earlier games, a lot of the normal type Pokemon could use all of the HMs. Mm-hmm. Someone could use Cut and Rock Smash and stuff like that, so that was kind of helpful.
Well, you get weird things like Hyper Fang, where you just drop their HP to 1.
Right.
Anywho.
All right, yeah.
Fire.
Yes, fire-type Pokemon. I was... so, I'm going to ask this, and it might spoil it, but do you normally just pick, like, one of the 3 starters based on the type? Do you go, like, only fire, or only grass, or only water?
No.
Okay. I do that. And it's not fire, I'll say that.
Okay. It's water.
That being said,
right?
fire... Yeah, it is. It is water type.
Okay.
That being said, fire-type Pokemon are always the coolest, in my opinion. They always, like... to me, they, like, have the most interesting, like, aesthetic. Most of the time, they just look badass. Like, there's not, like, a lame fire-type Pokemon that I can think of off the top of my head. So that kind of sells me a little bit. I'm like, fire-type's pretty cool.
They're cool. Their main issue, in general, is that they're frail.
Yeah.
They have a really, like, volatile mixture of matchups. They have a lot of things they take half from, and a lot of things they deal double to.
Mm-hmm.
Or, vice versa. And
right.
I don't know, they have a tendency to either one-shot a thing or get one-shot.
Right. And I think that's why I don't typically choose a fire starter, is because I feel like whenever I look at the stats of them, I'm like, well, they just don't look like they're going to last. They're frail, like you said. But that being said, man, there's some kick-ass fire-type Pokemon.
There are a lot of really cool ones. Although I will say, they do kind of get some of their thunder stolen, because dragons have dragon-type moves that are really cool and are just purple fire.
Yeah.
And then ghosts can burn things with Will-O-Wisp, so you don't have to rely on super frail fire types to burn things.
Since you brought up ghost types, I want to point out that the Pokemon Litwick is probably my absolute aesthetic. He's a ghost fire type. He's just like a little emo candle. And I'm like, you know what? That's pretty cool.
I feel that. A lot of people like Litwick and Chandelure.
Yeah.
They're really cool Pokemon.
They're cool. But, we're not going to get too far into that because we're going only fire types right now.
Right. In general, I say probably cooler than normals. And
oh, yeah.
More fun in general. So I don't know, probably A for fires for me.
Okay. Good. I like fire types, so I think they do deserve to be at a good place up there. I also wanted to point out before we go on, in the new games for Pokemon Sword and Shield, the champion that you fight just has a Charizard, and everyone's like, "That's so cool," and I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And then I realized that like you start with that Pokemon in the older games, so maybe it's like the nostalgia factor hits you of like, "Oh man, he's got the Gen 1 Pokemon," but it was just like Charizard's the coolest Pokemon in that game right now.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of people love Charizard. It is the dragon, the fire dragon that's not a dragon. You know, as far back as we can remember, Charizard's always been there, being that cool fire-breathing lizard with wings that is not a dragon.
Yeah, you got me there.
Fire types also part of what makes them really good is that they can break steel types.
Oh yeah.
They have high damage and are super effective against steel types.
Right.
And steel walls are very common. Also Ferrothorn, stupid strong, grass steel, dies to fire.
Oh yeah, 100%. I haven't really heard the steel wall thing. That's kind of interesting to me. That's like a thing that people do.
Yeah, so in your competitive teams, especially in singles, not doubles tournaments, you want at least one wall normally. And steel types make really good walls because they have many good type matchups and only a couple bad ones. And their bad ones are usually frail enough that they can take them out anyways.
Huh. Okay. The more you know. Fire type's pretty sick, man. I wouldn't put them at S, but they're up there.
Yeah, they're too frail for S for sure, and they have too many bad matchups. But they're cool and fun, and that's good enough.
That's what it's all about, man. For the most part, unless you play competitive. Anyway, let's move on to fighting type Pokemon.
Yeah.
Are these your boys? You made that sound real. Oh, okay. It's the opposite.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
I always feel bad about fighting types. I just don't like them very much at all.
Yeah. Like the one that stands out for me is I think it's Hitmonlee. That's just like a body with giant eyes and then arms and legs. Like he doesn't have a head, it's just a body. And I'm like, you know what? He's kind of cool, but what is he?
Oh, yeah, the kicking one.
Yeah, Hitmonlee.
Yeah.
And then there's Hitmonchan, who's the punching one.
And Hitmontop. Yeah, the spinny one.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what... I feel like there's some sort of reference to Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee somewhere in there. But then the top, that kind of fucking loses it for me.
Yeah, the top is... They all represent different martial arts styles.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
You have, straight boxing, and I don't actually remember what Hitmonlee's thing is. I don't remember the specific martial art, but I think it's like capoeira or something for Hitmontop.
Ah, yes. And capoeira is kind of like it's not as respected, if I'm not mistaken, as other types of martial arts or other styles of martial arts.
Well, it's almost like dancing.
Yeah, and it's like it's made as someone explained it to me and it was really interesting. They said it was more about like protecting yourself rather than harming someone else. I don't know. Maybe I'm diving too deep into my own thoughts or something, but
there's a lot of martial arts that lie along that. Judo is really big about that too.
Oh, right. We're off topic. What Pokemon?
Fighting types. All right. They're okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. They've got their moments where I'm just like, oh, cool, fighting type.
My problem with fighting types is that they don't fit in a lot of ways, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So let me throw out my Pikachu.
Sure.
I throw out my Pikachu, and I'm gonna have Pikachu do Thunderbolt, and
Sure.
It shoots lightning at you. And you go over there, you got Machop. And you know what Machop is going to do? He's going to karate chop my Pikachu. He's just going to straight, full manpower, flex his biceps, shake off that Thunder Shock, and then karate chop my Pikachu in the face.
Hell yeah, man. He's a tough boy.
I mean, yeah.
You're saying that the move type in general is just kind of strange because the other ones are elemental to some extent.
Well, either elemental or they're like very bestial. Like quick attack, you dash around really quickly. Tackle, you slam your body into them. Just say with like takedown and all those. And then you have fighting types, and it's like human fighting style. It's I don't know. My problem tends to be that I'm like, where does it stop? Where do you just like hand slack off a baseball bat and say, slack off, you slug him? Like,
man, you're gonna hate when I tell you about Pokken Tournament. That's just Tekken with Pokemon.
Nice.
It does look pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I can side with you on that. Fighting type is it doesn't feel like it fits what Pokemon is supposed to be about. But I don't really think that's bothered me too much until you pointed it out. So
yeah.
Either I shouldn't take that as much into consideration, or I should just pay more attention to Pokemon and feel bad about it. Where would you say? Because I want to say C or D.
I'm thinking probably C. I actually don't think we're going to have much of anything in the very low tiers, because nothing is genuinely garbage when it comes to Pokemon.
That's true. Yeah, they all have their strengths.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the aesthetic of the fighting type Pokemon in general, like how they appeal to you.
They tend to just be like martial themed, kind of human-esque in some way or another, which is okay.
I don't want to leave the page, but I think is it Krogunk is a fighting type?
Yeah, like fighting poison.
Yeah, and you're right. He stands up on 2 feet, and he's like somewhat humanoid-ish. You know what? Hold on. I'm using my phone.
That probably has something else to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't like super humanoid Pokemon.
Okay.
I really don't. And that's been one of the big problems I've had with a lot of the newer Pokemon and newer starters, is they tend to be too human for my liking. And fighting types are just that all the time.
I think I picked the wrong aesthetic for the Sword and Shield starters, because I saw little Sobble, that little crybaby, and I was like, yeah, that's the Pokemon for me.
You got baited like everyone else.
No. He evolves, and you're right. He's very humanoid, and I'm kind of like, okay, it's interesting. But there's also the grass type, I think Grookey, and he plays the drums.
Yep.
And I'm like, what did I do? What have I done?
I like Grookey a lot.
Grookey's adorable. And when he evolves, he's just got like a bigger stick drum thing, and I'm like, man, that's pretty cool.
Good old
so fighting type, we'll just put it C.
Yeah, I think so.
If we want to adjust it, we can. We don't have a tiebreaker for the day, but I have an interesting idea that I think we can work with. And on that note, let's move to water type. I want to hear your opinion, because I think you know mine.
I mean, they're really awesome. But the thing is, the problem with water types is that you get the gambit of water types. Water covers like 70% of the earth or whatever.
What?
Yes.
No, go on. I'm enthralled by what you're about to tell me.
And because of that, you get water types that are like, sea creatures. You get, crabs, lobsters, 60 different kinds of generic fish, because we need all of those. And then you get, the land water types, like Lotad, Lucolo, those guys. Surskit, dancing on top of the water. Then you get flying water types. I'm just saying, water is everywhere. And you get a lot out of the water type, which makes it hard to put them low. But then if you really dig into it, how many crustacean Pokemon do we have?
Okay, but you're missing some very important ones here. Okay, I'm gonna name off a couple: Gyarados, Vaporeon, Staryu, Totodile, Mudkip. Come on, I know you like Mudkip. You like Mudkip? That was a thing, right? A long time ago.
I mean, I think so, but I do like Mudkip a lot, unironically. No meme.
Kyogre.
Yep.
Seal. There's some variety in there.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of variety, but then there's also a lot of I mean, we have a lot of different species of crabs and lobsters in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need crabby, corpish, what's the blue one? Then there's Crabrawler, and then Crab.
I'm sorry, is this what's the blue water type Pokemon? I know you're talking
blue
about crabs.
Water.
No, I know, but
Clowitzer,
the blue water type.
Yeah, Clowitzer. I forgot about Clowitzer.
Okay, so you're gonna really hate it when we get to bug type Pokemon.
Actually, I have the opposite opinion on bug types, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, we've got a while. That's your teaser for the rest of the episode. So where would you put them? Because in all honesty, I feel like water has some of the most interesting moves,
Like what?
despite them all being mostly like shoot water.
Yeah, I was about to say, what interesting moves?
They've got Surf, they've got Hydro Pump. In Sword and Shield, if you start with Sobble, he has a move called Snipe Shot, which is like very interestingly animated.
Yep.
Where he like holds out his hand like he's using a gun. It's pretty sick.
They do have Water Pulse, which is kind of neat.
Also, you can't deny the adorability of your starting Pokemon using Bubble and like murdering birds. Might not be the best way to say it, but you see what I'm getting at.
I do. And I do like water types a lot. And they are
just go ahead and put them in S, right?
Well, let me think about this for just a moment.
Okay.
Let me see if I can come up with a good reason.
I mean...
Go
ahead. There's only like maybe 2 other types on here that I would put at S. Water is one of them, but that's not one of the 2.
I remember now why water types always kind of have this slight problem.
What's that?
So, 70% of the world covered in water. Like 20-something% of the rest of it covered in grass. You know what water's weak to? Grass.
I mean, yeah, but who cares, man? I see what you're getting at, but you also got to remember that Pokemon doesn't really take place on our planet.
Okay,
like
it takes place on a series of like 70 islands covered in grass surrounded by water. What do you mean?
All right, you got me there.
But no, I mean, I think they're pretty good. Probably A or S. And I don't know about S because while there's a lot of variety, they're just they're water. But yeah, we could go S and we can come back to it.
Okay, I'm gonna do this, right?
Put a question mark.
And we'll come back to it, and we'll discuss it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right. Flying type.
They're birds. They have wings.
So you hate it.
It's like fighting type, but probably slightly worse.
Okay, I am in 100% agreement with you. Flying type is the dumbest thing. It was cool, it was cool when you could use the move Fly in battle and you like disappeared for a turn and whatever they were gonna do just doesn't matter. And then you come back down and you descend from the sky and destroy them.
But it also matters what order you do it in.
True.
If you're faster,
people are gonna be divisive about the Switch, first Switch game for Pokemon Sword and Shield, but you don't have to use HMs to travel anymore or to get anywhere. Like you can fast travel by taking the little monorails or taxis or whatever.
Yeah.
So flying type was absolutely useless to me. I was like, I don't want to use this. I don't care. I don't need it. Like I'm good.
Competitively, flying type's actually not a bad typing. Which
really,
yeah.
Oops.
Well, they don't really have any like super strong counter where super strong matchups where they offensively win. Like they kill grass, fighting, and bug. No one uses grass, fighting, or bug types. However, they are resistant to grass. Hold on, wait a minute. Ground.
Yeah, I think you got that backwards.
No. I didn't get it backwards. They're the same. They're resistant to the same stuff that they are.
Okay, no, I see what you're saying.
You get.
Yeah. I got you.
But they're actually surprisingly not weak in most matchups. Like they get hurt by rock types, and ice types, and electric types.
Yeah.
No one really runs any of that either. Like rock a little, but ice and electric are very rare.
Okay. That's interesting for me to know because I obviously don't pay attention to like how people play competitively. I'm just kind of like, I like these types and they work well for me and my party, my setup.
Yeah.
So I just kind of roll with that.
Flying Steel is the most defensive type in the game. So Skarmory and Corviknight are just really, really tanky.
Fucking awesome, just aesthetically as a Pokemon.
I actually like Skarmory a lot. I used to love Skarmory and having a Skarmory in my team. But
yeah, Skarmory's great. It's just like, I remember the first time you see a Corviknight in Shield and you're like, holy shit, what is that? And then you learn it comes from that first fucking bird you find in the game.
Yep.
Like, it starts out as the little, like, blue, bluebird, I guess it is.
Rickety.
Yeah, yeah. And I hated it. I looked at that thing, I was like, that's their fucking bird, ew.
Yes.
And then it evolved, and I was like, oh, I should have kept with that. That's pretty awesome.
That is the other thing about flying types. Why do we need so many normal flying birds?
Yeah, It's like, whenever I see a flying and it's not flying in normal, I'm like, okay, you know what, that's kind of cool. But then, I think they do that at the very start, so that there's not like, suddenly you have a steel flying type at the very beginning of the game, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I can understand it for balance reasons, but at the same time, because of how flying type tends to work out, either you're normal flying, which means you're a bird, or you're flying plus something cool. But
and then
that means you're something cool with flying added on. You're something cool with wings. That's it. Like,
okay, yeah.
The flying is not the main part. No one cares.
There's a Wingull, right? Who's like water and flying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's, at least it's unique,
Oh, yeah.
Or like I feel like there's a flying fire type. Am I wrong about that?
You are not wrong about that. There's a couple, I believe, yeah.
Okay.
Moltres is cool. Fire flying, as well as there's Toucannon is fire flying. Yeah. As well as Talonflame.
Yeah. But to your point, I feel like if I caught Moltres and it was like, hey, it's a fire type, I wouldn't be like, well, why isn't it a flying type? I'd be like, sick. I got a fire type.
Oh, yeah, Charizard's fire flying. XD.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like they might have changed that after Gen 1. They might have, made that an adjustment later.
I believe that is the case, because Bulbasaur ended up being like, or not Bulbasaur, Venusaur is like grass poison.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, sick.
Yeah.
But to your point, or to I guess the whole point overall, I don't look at Charizard and wish he was a flying type. I say, sick, he's fire, and then I move on.
Yeah.
Flying needs to go pretty low.
I think for competitive viability, I would say that they're pretty high on the list, but for literally anything else, I say they have to be pretty low. So I'm going to say they probably just go into D and call it good.
Right. Cool. I'm with you on that. Flying. All the way down at D. Someone's going to be mad at us for this, too. Listen, we're just a couple of dudes.
I am ready to battle you in the sky, Sky Trainer, whoever you are that is angry.
Ooh.
Me and my Gligar that glides but doesn't fly and is a flying type will take you down. Don't even play. Yeah, not even evolved. Don't need to be. Aerial Ace, taking you out. Anyways, grass types.
Yeah, grass types. All right, now that rant's over, yeah, how do you feel about grass types?
Love them.
Love them?
Love them.
Love them.
Mm-hmm.
How much you love them?
Like, how much you love water types.
Oh, like they should be at S?
Yeah, probably.
See, I'm starting to think that I feel like fire, water, and grass will probably all be at A.
Probably, yep.
We might not even have an S for this tier list.
The only thing... I realize I'm about to make an argument that's literally just the reverse of the argument I made against water. But,
go ahead.
But it's necessary. All plants, all of the ridiculously high number of plants, are represented only in the grass category.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple that are like poison, or I think there's a couple that are psychic, I think.
Yeah, but they're like grass,
Yeah.
poison.
Yeah. Philia is grass and poison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind. Okay. I'm going to pull up some grass-type Pokemon just to get a list of like the most interesting ones.
There's a lot of cool grass Pokemon.
Yeah. No. Oh, man. It brings me back. Trico's... I think that was the only grass starter that I ever actually used. Then I beat the game and I went back and played it again as with Mudkip.
I see.
Oh man.
The main thing I like about grass types is that, okay, so with water types, the thing I was complaining about is that while there's a lot of variety, there's also just like the same thing, just like a different species of the same thing. Whereas with grass types, we kind of get just a lot of variety. Just way more variety. So much variety. Yes, it's a plant. It's a totally different plant that looks nothing like any other plant.
Not to mention that there's more than just plants in there.
Yes.
Turtwig is grass type. He's a turtle.
They
which
have
is interesting.
like beast-based plants, like Turtwig, Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
You know, and then they have like more human-based ones, like oh no, I've already forgotten her name. Leavanny. She's a bug. Buggrass. Yeah, close enough.
Carnivine catches my attention.
I love Carnivine.
Yeah, he's cool.
He floats
It's cool.
and isn't psychic. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh, you also get Leafeon, which, by the way, best evolution. Not sure if you're aware. Tied with Glaceon, really.
That was kind of the one for me. Is Glaceon is pretty fucking awesome.
I used to be all about Leafeon, but then I remembered that ice kills dragons, and well, kind of won me over.
Oh, there's also Serperior. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Oh yeah,
like serpent. Yeah. And also Celebi's a grass type, right?
Yep.
Celebi was for the longest time one of my favorite Pokemon.
There's just so much variety to grass types.
Yeah,
not one
here.
looks the same at all.
There's also in Sword and Shield. I don't know if you've seen Pumpkaboo.
Yes.
Ghost and Grass. I was like, you are.
They're not from Sword and Shield. They're actually from before that. Yeah.
Oh man, what was before that again? Is it X and Y? No,
Sun and Moon. I think they were in X and Y though.
Were they?
Yeah, Pumpkaboo and Trevenant.
Oh man, now I feel bad because I played a little bit of Y. I don't think I got super far into it because I was right in the middle of school. But
yeah, Trevenant, by the way, probably one of my favorite Pokemon. It's so cool.
You're selling me hard on this.
Oh, and also Baractus. All right. Now I will say we do have two cactus types, but Maractus is adorable.
Cacturn's the other one, right?
Yep, Cacturn and Cacnea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are we tying S with grass and water?
I think so.
All right. That's I mean, I was gonna say that's a first, but this is like the second episode. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So there we go. Grass and water so far in the S type, and we are moving on to poison. Now this is interesting to me. I didn't realize that Ghastly is a poison type before it is a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I thought ghost was their type 1, but not that it really matters. But yeah, so that kind of messed me up when I found a Gengar, and I was like, why are you poison type? And then I remember he comes from Ghastly, and I put it all together.
I'm a poison type gym leader.
Oh, are you?
Yep. If I had to pick one type to make a gym out of, it's poison. By far. I would love. Okay. Oh, man. There's so many good poison types.
Gengar is up there for me. Like, he's one of the most popular Pokemon ever, I think. Like, the most recognizable.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, with poison, you span a lot of other types.
Yeah.
You get ghosts, you get grass, you get water types even, you get bugs, lots of bugs. Holy Lord.
We were just talking about Krogunk being fighting in poison.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so I feel like that's kind of the opposite side of the spectrum for flying types for me, where it's like if I see something is like grass and poison, I'm like, oh, sick, okay, so I've got extra, like something cool that I can use. Whereas with flying, I'm kind of like, whatever. Poison, I'm kind of more interested in, I guess.
Poison has a lot of interesting mechanics. You can poison things, you can badly poison things. There's also like the black sludge item, which if a poison Pokemon holds it heals them. If a non-poison type holds it poisons them.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And they also have like a Venoshock. If they are poisoned, the move does double damage, which is just, so good.
Sweet. That being said, man, like, there's aesthetically, they're very hit or miss for me. Like, there's a lot of poison Pokemon where I'm like, oh, that's sick, and then there's a couple where I'm just like,
What ones aren't doing it for you? Just out of curiosity.
Oddish doesn't. I like Oddish, but he doesn't scream poison type to me. Controversial opinion: wheezing and coughing are just strange. I'm not a fan.
I don't think that's controversial. I think most people will agree with you that they are very strange Pokemon.
They're just it's like they're just weird. Like, why are they there? What are they? I'm trying to look through a list here just so I can be quick about it. Venomoth. Like, why are you not just a bug? I guess they're trying to find something a little more worthwhile for them.
Well, a lot of bugs end up being poison type because a lot of bugs in real life are poisonous. Like, straight.
That's true. Yeah.
Beedrill.
Strange, yeah.
Poison. Yes, because...
Yeah, I don't get it.
Because bugs are poisonous.
But, okay. Gulpin? Fuck that thing. I don't
What?
get it.
Dude, Gulpin is one of my absolute favorites. Gulpin and Swalot. Oh, as well as Muck.
Sorry.
Oh.
I've enjoyed their presence. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not saying like I hate them or anything, but it's the same thing as like, it's fucking, what was that? Coughing and wheezing. It's like, what are you? What is the point? You're a giant booger. I don't understand. Swalot's it's not green anymore, right?
No, it's purple color. With yellow whiskers.
Okay.
But they just swallow things whole. It's kind of neat.
To your point, though, the poison types that are also something else are incredible. There's the little the salamander, poison fire. What is it?
Poison fire?
Yeah, it's a little salamander boy. I think he might have been only from Sword and Shield, like more recent.
Oh. Salandit actually is poison fire.
Yeah.
Wow. I said Salazzle, but I actually thought Salazzle was like dark poison. Did not know they were fire. That's neat.
There's also Toxel and Toxtricity.
Yeah. Poison
that
electric.
Thing's pretty cool, but I also just mostly liked it because it was electric type, to be honest.
Well, and the whole aesthetic.
Oh yeah, he's a. Is he technically like a music?
Yes.
Pokemon. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. I looked at him and I'm like, you look like the album art to like a NoFX song or something.
Yeah, he's 100% a rock Pokemon.
Yeah. So I guess that makes sense. But I also like when I saw Toxel, I was just like, okay, he's like the Togepi for this game.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw Toxel, I was like, "Why is this a Digimon? Why do we have a Digimon in Pokemon? What is this?"
That's a fair evaluation of him.
And then when it Digivolved,
you don't have to say Digi.
It became
Dig. You can just say evolved.
Somewhat more Pokemon. Still kind of a Digimon, but somewhat more Pokemon. I was able to accept it a little more once it Digivolved.
You know. It kind of looks like like someone from outside of Pokemon drew it and then sent it to Pokemon and been like, hey, like use this. And the Pokemon people were like, oh, like that's different. That's cool.
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't look like something that, like a typical Pokemon artist would create.
Right.
Which is cool. That being said, poison types are middle of the road for me.
I mean, I will say we do get some, less than wonderful Pokemon, like, I believe it's Quillfish and Trubbish.
The Garbage Boy, that's right.
The Garbage Boy and the Pufferfish.
He doesn't Trubbish evolve into like a giant dumpster?
Not a dumpster, a giant pile of garbage.
Okay.
Garbodor.
Yeah.
And then in Sword and Shield, he can Gigantamax into an even larger pile of garbage.
And then when he Gigantamaxes, he's got like buses and buildings inside of him.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Is that a car?"
I kind of had like I don't know. It immediately made me think of like Futurama with like the giant ball of trash floating in space.
Yeah. I made the joke to somebody that Garbodor is me as a Pokemon, and then they got real upset because I was being self-deprecating.
Hey man, that's all right. Some people just don't understand, good humor.
True humor. No, I'm kidding. I'm more confident than I let off. So poison type, where would you put him? I'm saying B for me. I talk a pretty high game, but also there's just some strange in there, and I'm just like, I don't need all that.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I respect the creative aspects of some of them, but other ones I'm just kind of like, why?
I'm gonna try to throw out a little bit of a bump up for him here.
Okay, what you got?
Fairies. They kill fairies.
Yeah, I mean,
they're one of two things that could kill fairies.
But what are they weak against? I forget.
They're weak against like ground and psychic.
Hey, that's stupid.
I mean, I get ground. I understand ground. What are you gonna do? Poison the dirt? Oh no, my dirt!
If anything, it should be rock and ground.
Yeah, the psychic thing. I'm really not sure about it. It also makes for some stupid stuff in the card game, wherein there are lots of poison type Pokemon that are weak to, because poison and psychic are just one energy type. They're just psychic type. So you get all these psychic type Pokemon that are weak to themselves.
I never even took the card game into consideration for the rest of this list, but I also didn't play it that much.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing about the card game that I'm probably ever going to bring up, because I just thought it was so stupid.
Okay. So, because they're stupid in the card game, you want them to be higher than B?
No, because they kill fairies, I want them to be A.
Okay.
They're also just, if grass is not my favorite type, poison definitely is.
Okay. I'll put them at A, because that seems like a pretty high regard. I don't want to disrespect you in that way.
They're really underused right now in competitive, because steel types are immune to poison. So they just get completely walled out. So why would you ever run a poison type?
Right.
But, there's a reason why you're not allowed to have steel type super early in the game in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah. Electric. I am a fan of electric type Pokemon. I always feel like there's not a general, what is a animal that's associated with lightning.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the kind of more creative, and they're not always stupid. Let me pull up the list before I jump too far in
they're
this.
not always stupid. There's a key word in there.
Okay, which ones are upsetting for you? Because I've got this list up, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool.
For me, it's less about there being specifically ones that are stupid, but more about if you tell me it's an electric type Pokemon, I can probably define multiple features of it just immediately.
Okay. I'm going to think of an electric type Pokemon, and I want you to name its features.
It almost definitely has some amount of yellow on.
Let me double check here. Incorrect. Big Magnet Boy does not have any yellow on him.
Okay.
That being Magnemite, by the way.
Yes. That's fair. Magnemite is
let me get a different
case.
Pokemon, and you pick a different trait that you see in typical electric type.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It either has stripes or jagged lines.
All right, you got me there. Pulled up Rotom, however you want to pronounce it.
Yep.
Cute little thing. Not my favorite, but he's up there.
He's like one of the most competitively viable Pokemon. Period.
Really?
Yeah. Rotom is so
Okay.
good.
There's also, I think, again, people are going to judge me for saying this, but my favorite legendary is electric. The Zekrom from Pokemon White.
Really?
Yeah. That dude, like, you look at that thing and you're like, that is undeniably Pokemon for one, but it's so uniquely badass in its own right because it's just like this giant black dragon thing. Like, it looks like death, but at the same time, it's still like Pokemon,
Interestingly, we've hit like all of my favorite types in a row here.
Really?
Yep. I actually really happen to like electric types as well, although
Okay.
I do have my gripes with them.
What are your gripes, man?
Just mainly the thing I was saying before, that like it's just something plus electricity. Electros. It is an electric eel. Zebstrika is an electric zebra.
What about,
Zekrom is an electric dragon.
What about like Voltorb?
Voltorb is an electric ball.
Okay. He reminds me of just. I wish there was like Voltorbs in the new Pokemon game. I don't think there's any, but they should just look like Pokeballs, and then when you run up to them, they self-destruct, and that just be it. It's like they're just booby traps, basically.
I mean,
It'd be pretty cool, right?
if I recall correctly from their Pokedex, that's literally what they do to like prey.
They kill themselves.
They don't self-destruct. They look like a Pokeball, and then when they get picked up, they shock them and paralyze them. I don't know what they do to them
sick.
afterwards
That's awesome.
because Pokemon never defines it, but
That's awesome.
I can only
That's
assume
sick,
it involves like ripping of souls, Shadow Realm, Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Also, my favorite legendary is electric as well. Not the same legendary though.
Zapdos?
Yeah, I love Zapdos.
Yeah. Luxray is a pretty sick Pokemon.
Oh
But
yeah.
to me, they just look, most of the time, they look pretty badass.
No, they really do. A lot of them are fantastic, and you get a really nice set of cool and cute.
Yeah.
Although you do
Like
get
Rotom.
weird ones like Electivire, who's just like, what are you? Why do you exist?
What the hell?
But I
Yeah.
love Ampharos. Ampharos is a great Pokemon. And Pachirisu and Emolga.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pachirisu is adorable.
they're the cutest. Pachirisu and Emolga are like two of the cutest Pokemon ever.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking through a list here just to be, just to make sure I'm right about things. There's the Alolan form of Geodude who is rock and electric, and I'm beyond confused and amazed by that.
Yeah, they're
That's
really
awesome.
weird.
Anyway, so yeah, I feel like electric should be A. They're high up there for me.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Cool.
As far as competitive viability goes, they're fast. And they
Right.
can do paralysis, which is good for speed control.
Mhm.
That's about it. They don't really have much else going for them.
But hey, man, I don't know. I also just like electric type moves are always pretty sweet. Even though, like I said, it's kind of the same thing. Just like a lot of the like fire type moves and fighting type moves are all, once you put them in a category, they're all kind of the same thing. But it's like you're summoning thunder from the sky or out of your body. Like that's pretty hardcore.
Well, the big thing for me is that a lot of the electric type moves have a chance of paralysis, and a paralysis just...
Yes.
It's such a high chance to just say, I'm sorry, opponent, you don't get to play the game. Which, it's a good way to win.
Right. Yeah, I'm all for it. Electric type's pretty great.
Ground.
Yep, ground is next up on the list.
Underrated type.
Think so?
I do, actually. I do think ground deserves a lot more credit than it tends to receive.
Okay. I kind of hate ground type, so...
Really? But your favorite Pokemon is ground type, though.
Well...
Your favorite Pokemon.
You can't say that because... Yeah. No. Here's the thing, though, man. For reference, we're talking about Sandshrew, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sandshrew caught my attention more so with the ice type alternative. That thing looks gorgeous.
Okay. I guess that's fair.
And don't get me wrong, Sandshrew is, in my opinion, and it should be objectively, the cutest Pokemon that will ever exist. But he's not... I don't know.
Well, alright. Here's the thing. Well, let me list off a couple Pokemon here for you.
Sure.
Flygon. What?
I'm sorry.
Excuse me? The Dragonfly Dragon? Are you kidding me?
Let me remind myself what he looks like. It's been a minute since I've seen a Flygon.
Alright, okay.
Here is loading. Okay, no, that thing is pretty cool.
Thank God.
You got me there.
I thought this friendship was about to be over just like that. I mean, Jesus, man.
You don't like the same Pokemon as me. This podcast is over.
Yeah, Flygon is a pretty top tier Pokemon. I'm just saying.
It's pretty cool.
You also get Swampert and Torterra.
Swampert's water type.
And ground.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you.
That's kind of their thing. This Mudkip is, mud.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. I always think of him more as a water type than a ground type,
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have anything that makes him look like a ground type, which, kind of a weird design decision. But that's another thing about ground types. They don't have a theme. Which is kind of bad.
You're right about that.
But it gives so much variety to what they look like.
Yeah.
You get,
something there.
Mamoswine is a ground type. And you get Gligar is also a ground type. It flies. It basically is like a scorpion that flies. And it's the same type as a mammoth.
Isn't Turtwig's final evolution a ground type too?
Yes, that's Torterra.
Torterra, that's right. Mm-hmm. The tree.
Also, Garchomp. Garchomp is a ground dragon, I believe.
Ah. Interesting.
Crocodile, ground dark. Really cool dude.
Oh, that sounds... Yes, where is that? I'm looking through a list now, because I give up
also,
on...
Quagsire. Adorable. Really like Quagsire.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Garbage and competitive, though. A lot of these Pokemon are actually really good.
Is one that comes to mind.
Competitive, by the way.
What's that?
A lot of these Pokemon are really good competitive Pokemon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Excadrill is like the most powerful competitive Pokemon, period.
Oh.
Lunsdale is good.
Oh, the obvious one is Cubone. That cute son of a bitch.
I'm not going to lie, kind of forgot he was ground type. But that's kind of the point. There's so many ground types, and none of them, they don't have a consistent theme at all.
There's
just so much variety.
Aesthetics are pretty high up there for me. I'll give you that, because they are all pretty creative. They're all pretty interesting. They don't fit a certain theme. They're all a little bit different.
You do have some weird ones, like Sandaconda.
That's the coolest name I've ever heard for a Pokemon.
No, please. It's so goofy. You have to look it up. It's so
almost
goofy.
as cool as Ekans, I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's such a goofy Pokemon. It's actually really sad.
You're selling me on Sandaconda right now.
But they're super effective against a lot of things.
Yeah.
And not particularly weak against most meta things. Like, they're weak to water and grass and ice. Ice is garbage. Grass is garbage. Okay. Water, not garbage. But, you know, everything has to have weakness.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm on the fence because you got me on the types of Pokemon within the ground type. You know, there's some pretty cool ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I've ever used a ground type Pokemon since Gen 1 was Sandshrew.
Swampert.
Fuck, you can't. I keep forgetting. Because when I had Mudkip, for one, I just hounded him with all water type moves because that's what I do with my starters. I'm like, you're gonna just bash the hell out of things with whatever water type moves that I can give you.
Sure. Type advantage or stab, as they call it, same type attack bonus.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess I just never really paid attention to the fact that he was a ground type. I was just kind of like, whatever, he's the water boy.
Yeah. I mean, I get where you're coming from.
Workhorse.
I happen to like a lot of ground types.
Yeah.
But, you know. They're good competitive. They have good aesthetics. They're kind of, like I said, I feel like they're really underrated. I feel like they're A tier. And people think they're C or D.
I was gonna say B, but I'll go A. I'm not gonna dispute it because I feel like you're not wrong about what you're saying. You know, like there's some cool Pokemons in there. They're usually really worthwhile to have. I guess I just didn't really think to use them.
Well, that is one thing that kind of
made me sad.
People don't use them that much. Really, like when in their playthroughs, unless you happen to be like a big fan of a specific one.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
well, like it's good where it is.
Yeah,
I'll say that. I just don't use them a lot. I guess maybe next time a Pokemon game comes out, when the expansion comes out for Sword and Shield, I'll get a separate party going with the ground type and see how it goes for me.
I can highly recommend it. It's an interesting time. Gligar all the way. Anyways,
if I can find a Gligar, I'll 100% do it.
Okay.
So next up we have Psychic type.
Yes.
Psychic type is an interesting one for me because they're extremely hit or miss, in my opinion, both on the aesthetic and on the moveset. I gotta point this out. There is a Sword and Shield variant of Mr. Mime, who is Ice type, and I'm like, what is happening? You first see him, like, I thought he was just a person because I didn't recognize him as a Pokemon, and then he runs up at you and he's jogging in place and he's just like, Mr. Mime. It's weird. That being said, I just pulled up a list of Psychic type Pokemon.
Okay.
I always forget that Mew is the Psychic type, and I'm like, he's pretty cool, even in like the lore of the show and the stuff like that. I'm like, he's pretty dope. I don't know why I sound so sad about it.
I mean, interestingly, I think for me, Psychic types are a lot like fighting types, but they fit better.
Yeah.
Because these are like mystical creatures, they have mystical powers. Rather than these are mystical creatures, they punch you.
Yeah. Oh, Deoxys, also a psychic type.
Yeah, let's see. Gardevoir. Everyone loves Gardevoir. How can you
Of
not?
course.
Metagross. Oh, Metagross is just so cool.
I've always pronounced it Metagross. Am I wrong?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. The Galarian form, that's what it says, the place in Sword and Shield. Galarian form Pokemon. Rapidash is psychic and fairy. And it looks like it's made out of cotton candy, and it's pretty adorable.
Yeah. I'm weird on it. I'm not a huge fan.
Okay. I think it's cute. I feel like I'd like it more as a fire type, but I see it and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Well, for me, it was one of those things where I was like, why not keep the fire type and add psychic or fairy? I think that would be really cool, but
they're running out of ideas, man.
Well, you know.
You didn't hear that from me.
How many ideas can you have?
Apparently close to 1,000.
Yeah, I was about to say, because they've had a lot of them so far.
Yeah. Oh, one of the oddball favorites of mine is Jinx, Ice and Psychic. I don't like ice types, and I don't care for Psychic too much, but Jinx is interesting.
I actually had a similar kind of experience, which Jinx is a less than great inspired Pokemon.
Yeah.
Inspirations for it, not great. But I have actually used Jinx multiple times in my teams. Just Psychic and Ice is a very deadly offensive combination.
Yeah. Jinx was also one of the first Pokemon that I captured in a raid in Pokemon Go, of all things. So there's a weird, like, I was hanging out with a bunch of friends, and this is a weird tangent, but we were walking off of our college campus, and we were basically in the middle of this bridge that had like very narrow sidewalks, and for some reason there was a Pokemon stop there, or a gym or whatever, that had a raid going on. So we were just standing on the side of this bridge next to our school. So yeah, we're standing on the side of this bridge, and like there's a bunch of cars passing by us, and we're just sitting there trying to beat up a giant Jinx with our with our Pokemon Go on our phones, just sitting there tapping. It was fun. It was a good memory, and I think I still have that Jinx on my phone somewhere. So that means nothing. I don't really care for Psychic type.
I will say something against Psychic type.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if you can count this against them, but there's a lot of Pokemon that should be Psychic type but aren't.
Yeah.
Like, someone tell me why Psyduck is not Psychic type. It gets Psychic moves. It has Psychic powers, and he's not.
Sure.
Yeah. It is flat water. As is Golduck, its evolved form, which has better psychic powers, I'm pretty sure.
Psyduck. Put an I instead of a U. There it is. There it is. I knew you were gonna. I was like, I'm waiting for that laugh to come up. Okay, yeah, he is a water type.
Yep.
What a load of shit.
I know. Also, Ninetales, which is literally Kitsune.
Yeah, he's the Vulpix evolution.
Yes, and in the show, literally they encounter one that has psychic powers.
Mm.
And yet,
Psyduck, who has the PSY in his name.
Neither Psyduck nor Ninetales are psychic.
That makes me want to put it even lower than I imagined.
I don't think they're particular. I really don't feel like they're low. I feel like they're better than fighting. I feel like they got to go B.
Okay.
But I don't know. That always just gets on my nerves. Also, Wobbuffet isn't psychic, and come on!
Wobbuffet, you said he is psychic.
He is, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm about
what should he be?
He should be normal, but, okay. I kind of like that he's psychic, because part of their, lore is that they have staring contests, extreme staring contests, where eventually one of them will faint from starvation and dehydration.
Oh, sick.
So they're psychic, not because they have psychic powers, but because they have the sheer willpower.
Yeah, they just stare into each other's souls for days on end, and then they somehow have telekinesis afterward. Makes sense, yeah. Psychic, S-type. Oh, you want to go B?
Yeah, I think B is good. Yep. I can't see it, but yep, I believe in you.
Psychic.
Yep.
Next up is Rock.
Rock is the worst ground type. B. It is the worst ground type. It's ground type, but worse. B.
B. So it's still not bad. It's just
they're fine. They're just like they have a consistent theme. They're rocks. They're all made of rocks or have rocks on them. Cool.
I'm gonna see if I can find one that you're.
I mean, you can. Like you 100% can. Like all the fossil Pokemon were rocks.
Granados is a. Oh, there's also a Pseudo-Wudo. The bonsai tree.
It's a rock. It's made of rock. It is.
I thought he was a bonsai tree.
Nope. It's actually made of rock.
He looks like a little. Okay.
It's Pseudo-Wudo. It's fake wood. It's rock.
I mean, sure. But...
Yeah.
Oh, Bonsly. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, Bonsly and then Pseudo-Wudo.
Also a rock?
Yeah, they're rock.
But he's the bonsai Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
Rock gets an F, dude.
Now, there are some cool rock types.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong,
I love Magcargo, I love Onix, Tyranitar, Tyrantrum. Yeah, I think that's it. No, like all the fossil Pokemon are really cool too, actually.
I like Solrock and Lunatone.
I do not, in the slightest, but okay. Thank you for your contribution.
I've never used them, but I'm like, I see them, I'm like, that's a cool looking Pokemon.
I saw them and was like, great. They're floating rocks with squinty eyes. Wonderful.
Alright. Clearly disagree on that.
Yes, but that it's okay. It's all right to disagree sometimes.
Rhyhorn.
Yes, Aggron. Very cool. Like I said, all the fossil types, amazing. Kabutops, Anorith.
Dreadnought was actually on my radar during Sword and Shield because he's water and rock.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I like Dreadnought a lot, actually.
Cool, but I already had a water type, so I was like, well, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. C.
Are they bad enough to be C? I don't feel like. So with flying type, it was super underwhelming.
Right.
The flying type just feels like an addendum. It's like the ribbon on something else. Fighting type just didn't feel like it fit in. I don't know. I feel like rock fits in. They're just kind of generic. I feel like they have to be B.
Okay. Rock type. B tier. I'm with you on that because there are some good ones. Now moving on over to ice type. This one's gonna be pretty low for me. I don't like ice type Pokemon very much.
I feel really bad about it because I feel like they've got the short end of the stick in a lot of ways. They suck. Like they're decent offense, but defensively they're actually just garbage, and they're ice. It's okay, I guess.
Now, there's the ice type Vulpix is pretty cool looking.
There are a lot of cool ice types, genuinely. I like Frostless and Delibird. Glaceon, Abomasnow.
There's that Galarian Mr. Mime just came up.
Yep.
Articuno?
Walrein. I like Walrein a lot.
Oh yeah. We can't not say Articuno.
Yeah, and the Kyurem.
Kind of the legend.
Of course, then you have Cryogonal, the living snowflake.
Oh yeah.
What a great Pokemon.
There's also whatever the ice cream cone is.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong, it's
Vanillish.
adorable. Yeah. But
Yeah.
what is that?
Cubchoo. Cubchoo is actually stupid adorable. Beartick, terrible. Don't like Beartick at all. But Cubchoo.
Cubchoo is how I've been feeling for the last handful of months because my sinuses have just been garbage. So I feel like I'm actually walking around just like Cubchoo. I'm snotty and for some reason a 5-year-old and I just can't take care of myself.
All right.
Yeah, you get it.
But maybe a little too much personal, but that's fine.
There's just mucus coming out of my nose all the time.
I'm sure the audience sympathizes.
Oh yeah. Because like the weird changes in temperature and stuff can just really.
Oh yeah. No, I get you. 100%.
I apologize if that was too much information.
Oh, there's also Ice Table, Avalugg. Just
table.
Yes, Ice Table. It's a turtle, but it's completely flat. Avalugg.
I'm gonna take a guess.
Yep.
I saw it come up in. Oh, Ice Table is right.
Ice Table. What a
that
good.
being said, there's one of the images has him with like spikes on his back, and I'm like, that looks pretty cool. Ice Table is pretty dumb. Side note, weighs 1,100 pounds.
Yes. Well,
pure ice. Okay. I think they're down there with D for me. I'm just kind of.
I don't know about D. Like I said, I don't feel like many things are D tier because like ice types, they have a theme. There are some cool ice types. They do look cool. Yeah, some of them look really cool. They're just underwhelming in a competitive standpoint, and like you don't have much reason to put them on your team.
All right, so what are you feeling?
I think they go with the fighting type. Honestly,
right at C.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Like they're worse than normals, but
and like you said, I don't think there's going to be any like absolute failure types.
No, not at all.
But
except fairy, garbage, F tier, F for fairy.
You think? So?
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Go to Bug.
Bug.
How do you feel about Bug?
I like bugs. I like them a lot.
I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I kind of thought
boy.
that might be the case.
Yeah.
I don't know that they are. I don't think they can go high on the list. If for no other reason than bugs have the lowest stats in the game.
Yeah, because they're bugs.
I feel like that's not fair.
Oh, that's completely fair.
I feel like that's very rude.
So, is there a like recluse spider Pokemon?
Ariados?
Is it just like the most dangerous bug on the face of the planet, but in Pokemon form?
It's a poison bug that is okay. Sometimes.
Okay, see that bug needs something that's gonna be like, this thing looks like it's ready to murder you.
Okay, but here's the thing. There's actually a lot of really cool bugs. If you like bugs.
Well, okay.
Which I like bugs. So
bugs are... Yeah.
Alright.
Bug type Pokemon. I'm pulling up a list just to...
We do have like 6 different kinds of moth or butterfly, which is a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need that many, but so be it.
And also a lot of just like cocoons.
Yeah, well, bugs are real big into evolution, bettering themselves.
Yeah, which I mean makes sense, but
there's a lot of cool ones. You get Scizor, Scolipede.
Beedrill's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like Beedrill. Beedrill's one of my favorite Pokemon, as well as
Scyther.
Scyther the Skydragon. No,
Scyther's pretty cool.
Yeah, Scyther and Scizor are pretty chill.
Scyther is, and I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off, but Scyther is exactly what I was talking about, where it's like, that thing just looks like it's ready to fight, you know? Whereas all the other ones are like, oh, we're bugs. That one's like, I'm a bug that's going to slice you in half.
Have you looked at Golisopod? Golisopod looks like it could actually duel Godzilla and maybe win.
Okay, how do you spell it? Because I gotta find these for later too.
Maybe I think I'm talking about the right one. Go Liso.
Oh,
Pod.
yep, I got it. Jesus, yeah, that thing looks. Yeah, that's what bug type needs more of that.
Yeah,
because that thing looks deadly.
Yes,
that's cool. It's also a water type, which I kind of appreciate, or it's bug water.
Yes,
pretty cool.
It's super strong. Volcarona, Dustox are both really cool, as well as we have Shedinja and Ninjask, which
yeah,
they're a gimmick Pokemon, and I love it a lot. Shedinja has the special ability to. It only has 1 HP, but it only takes damage if it gets hit by a super effective move.
What?
It's immune to all non-super effective attacks.
Which one is this?
Shedinja. It evolves from.
That's right.
Yeah.
What a weird thing.
It's such a gimmick, but I love it. I love little gimmicks like that. I think that's so fun.
Party and an extra Pokeballs in the plate. That's interesting. An extra Pokeball is not necessary to obtain a generation. Cool. Stupid, but cool. I mean, Jesus. Okay, but see, while you've got me on some of the like really cool bug types, that's like 7 we might have named out of 800. I don't know.
I mean, I like a lot of bug types. I genuinely do. I think a lot of them have really cool design. Now, like I said, we do have Beautifly, Butterfree, Mothim, Venomoth, Dustox, Masquerain, and God, I can't remember that last one.
Oh, you did that off the top of your head.
Yes.
Christ, man.
I cannot.
You like bug Pokemon.
I cannot remember the other butterfly Pokemon, but they're all butterflies and moths, and I'm just like, cool. Can we get another one next gen, please? Like,
I used Sizzlepede or Centiskorch.
Yeah.
In my Shield playthrough.
It's a cool Pokemon.
Yeah, it's like fire and bug. I'm like, I needed fire. I don't want to just have a one type Pokemon, except for Sobble being water.
Yeah.
So that was a solid Pokemon to have.
I will say,
go ahead.
They do have some interesting and weird type advantages. Yeah, they do half damage to a lot of things, which is unfortunate. But they're super effective against grass, and psychic, and dark.
Yeah, that's weird.
They're weak to fire and flying and rock.
Yeah.
They're weak to the things that you use to kill them in real life.
Yeah. Fire and birds and rocks?
Yes. Yeah.
You lost me on that one because I don't.
Rocks is like crushing them.
I guess.
And
like,
birds eat them and then
rocks.
you burn them with fire. I would say poison, but that 90% of them are poisonous. So
yeah, I was gonna say where's the motor oil type Pokemon, because apparently that's what you're supposed to use. 5W20 Pokemon that'll just.
I mean, I think technically Muck and Grimer are like some sort of oil based
type. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like them a lot. I think they're really cool. Unfortunately, competitively, they're fast. Yep, that's about it.
Yeah, they're definitely down there for me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I really wish they had more going for them. I'd like to be able to put them in B because I don't feel like they're bad. I feel like they're a cool type. But if you want to put them in C with fighting and ice, I guess I can understand. You know.
Yeah, I was honestly thinking D. So I think we'll meet in the middle. You know.
Okay.
I know. You know that's how we got to do it at the moment.
Yeah.
All right. So Dragon type Pokemon. These are polarizing for me because it's hard not to love them. They're pretty cool. There's not really a dumb dragon type Pokemon as far as I can remember. I'm gonna pull up a list just.
I was about to say I'm pretty sure that's not true, but oh yes, Altaria. Why is Altaria a dragon? Get it out of here.
Altaria.
It's a cool Pokemon, but why is it a dragon?
It looks dragon-ish. I can see it.
It's a bird.
It's a cloud dragon.
It has a beak and wings.
So do dragons.
Oh,
no. Okay, I'm sorry. I take that back. I was thinking of a phoenix. Apologies.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, fire and wings and a beak. Nope. All right. Thank you to Bulbapedia for supplying me with lists of Pokemon that I've been looking through.
Yep.
Dratini, pretty cool. Dragonair, pretty cool. Dragonite, pretty cool.
Alolan Executor, pretty cool.
What?
Yep.
I need to find that. What the fuck? Is it type? Oh, I see it. Huh. But he's not. He's
what?
He's not any different. Like, he doesn't look any different.
Excuse me?
I can't. Okay, let me pull up a separate picture because clearly I'm doing something wrong. Executor Alolan. Oh, he's a tall boy.
Yeah, he's a tall boy, and that makes him a dragon because he's tall now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dragons are tall.
Yeah, dragons are tall. Giraffes are tall. They're dragons. Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
Yeah, I was like, I know there's at least one dumb dragon. Let me think about it. Looks at the picture, and there's just this gigantic pole in the middle of the picture.
Yeah, you got me there. That's pretty dumb. But I mean, that's like one.
Yeah, no, dragons in general really cool. They have a theme.
Yeah,
they're also really OP.
The Applin, that's what I was looking for, is just like an apple.
Yeah, I actually like them a lot. I think they're a really cool design.
I really like it because then it evolves and you're like, oh, like that's what was inside the apple. As weird as that sounded.
It also, don't they have like two separate evolutions? There's like Flapple and Appleton.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, the dragon, very cool Pokemon in general. Very, very strong.
Oh, think I just found a dumb one. Dracozolt?
Hold on, wait a minute. Well,
Dracozolt is slim thick.
I know. Dracozolt, I think Dracovish as well is also.
Yeah, that's on the list.
They're all the mixed up fossil types from Sword and Shield.
Okay.
They're
that's like if you screw them up.
They all have a very like super strong move. Like, Dracovish has Vicious Rend, which does really high damage already. It has a high base damage and does double if you attack first. And I believe Dracozolt has Voltbeak, which has a chance to miss, but does stupidly high damage.
That's That's such a weird... I haven't seen those. I have the fossils. I just never went back and had them turned into Pokemon.
I'm not going to lie, the first time I saw them, I was like, oh my god, this is a reference to when they used to be really, bad at putting fossils together, and the fossils got put in places that they really didn't belong.
Right.
And so we made up creatures, basically, but, we fixed that over time, and it really was never that bad in the first place.
Right.
I was like, this is so stupid. And then I found out that they all had like one super powerful OP move, and I was like, alright, suddenly this is good. Not only are they memes, they're powerful memes. I think that makes up for it.
That kind of makes me hate it, but I see your point. There's also Eternatus, the ending Pokemon that you battle before you battle the champion in Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
And it looks like a villain out of like the Subspace Emissary from Super Smash Bros. It just looks like a giant like pile of darkness that floats. I'm like, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Pokemon doesn't really fit the rest of the game, but I was like, that's pretty cool.
I mean, there's a lot of legendary Pokemon in the Dragon type as well.
Yeah.
And they have the highest average base stats.
Yeah.
Because dragons.
Right. And again, hot take, but Zekrom and is it Reshiram?
Yeah.
Are, in my opinion, the coolest looking legendaries. Zekrom's higher for me, but both of them are like, that's some top tier shit.
Okay. They're pretty cool.
I'm probably alone in that, to be honest, but I think they're my favorite.
I like Kyogre and Groudon a lot, but that's probably my first Pokemon game was Sapphire.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, Kyogre's great. Groudon's kind of hit or miss for me. I feel like I look at it sometimes and I'm like, okay, you're pretty cool, and other times I'm like, you're a rock dinosaur, and that's pretty much it.
Well, he's got like almost an insect kind of look to him. But
yeah.
Yeah,
kind of does too, a little bit.
Anywho, dragon types.
Yeah,
that's the important part here.
Right. Not even Groudon and Kyogre are not dragon types.
No. I don't think they're S. I don't think Dragon's S.
No.
I think they're A.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Okay, cool.
Because they're really cool, but I feel like if you have just like I think I'd be pretty content having all water as like if you said if I was a gym leader, you would do poison. Mm-hmm. I think I'd be willing to do water or grass, but not dragon.
Yeah, I wouldn't do dragon. That's actually one thing that's always kind of killed me is that dragon types are considered to be like super strong, and it's always the Elite Four has dragons. There's one dragon Elite Four, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Well, watch all of them die to my cute little Arctic fox. Like. Sorry.
My Cubchoo's gonna murder you guys.
No, like, that's the thing. You dragon types, weak to ice. I was like,
that's right.
That's such a stupid matchup. But,
yeah.
Then dragons were still too strong because ice types were garbage. So they said, let's add something else and make them weak to it. And they added fairy.
Yep.
And now fairy is stupidly strong. And dragons are still great. But at least they have something that can kill them.
No, I mean, you're 100% right. It's weird that they have the types that they're weak and strong against, and they're a little, I don't know, it's a little overwhelming almost aesthetically.
They also
like if you just had all dragons, it's too much.
That weird move, Dragon's Rage, that does 40 damage.
Yeah,
no matter what. That's 40 damage. Wow, what's that gonna do? One shot a level 5 Poochyena? Yeah.
Like, all right, chill out, All right, so ghost type. This is again kind of a polarizing one for me, kind of like dragons. Aesthetically, is 100% everything that I enjoy. Like all of the Pokemon descriptions for ghost types are always like really weird and ominous and kind of messed up for a game made for kids. And there's just something so gorgeous about ghost type Pokemon that I love. That being said, I don't use them a whole lot.
I almost always end up including at least one.
I try to.
I don't try to, it just kind of happens because I get them and I'm like, oh my god, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And then I have no choice.
Right.
I'm a slave to the coolness.
I am 100% for just about every ghost type Pokemon that I've seen on this list so far. Litwick is up there as one of my favorite Pokemon. He's just cute little emo candle. I can't get over that.
Oh yeah.
Sableye. I saw a picture of him with an open mouth for the first time and was really disgusted by it. But I was like, you know what? It kind of makes sense. Yeah, I'm trying to look for one that I just don't like, and
I can't
having a
stand
tough time.
Decidueye. Not a fan at all.
I can see why you wouldn't like it. I'm still a fan. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
It's different, but it's like that's cool. Also, he's bird-ish. But
Yeah, I mean,
if
he's
you were
an
flying
owl.
type, yeah. If you were flying type, I don't think I'd like him as much.
True. It is an owl that is not flying type, which is, that's good.
Yeah, they're getting out of their shell a little bit. Golurk is pretty sick. I forget he's ground type too. But yeah,
It's very cool.
you're gonna have a hard time convincing me that they're not S tier completely, but S tier aesthetic. Everything about them, I'm just like, that's cool.
I'm kind of thinking that they're in the same state as dragons, where it's A tier. The main thing that hurts them for me is their usability, their type matchups.
Yeah,
They
it's kind of all over the place.
have no effect on normals, and normals have no effect on them. Okay, cool. I guess they can kill psychic types, and they can kill themselves. Yep. Fighting types do not hurt ghosts, which is cool. Poison's not very effective. Bugs not very effective. Ghosts super effective against ghosts. Fight ghost with ghost. It's a good strategy apparently, as well as dark. I guess the idea being like dark evil arts manipulating spirits or something. I don't really get it, but sure.
I think it's more something like that, where it's like ghosts aren't necessarily always evil, whereas dark is a supernatural force, but it's evil to some extent,
Yeah.
It makes sense in my head. I just don't know how to describe it without sounding like a dunce.
For me, their type matchups just end up being very underwhelming. Like, I don't throw out my ghost type thinking, wow, what a good type matchup. Like, yeah, they're going to have so many Pokemon that can't touch my ghost type.
You say that until you go into a ghost type gym and you're like, I'm killing you with your own guy. Like,
if you move first, which,
I think I went through that entire gym with Pumpkaboo and just crushed it. And I was like, yeah, you guys suck.
I mean, like I said, I do like ghost types, and I usually end up including one. I just don't think that they're strong of their own right.
Yeah.
Cool, 100%. Strong, less so.
Also, even weirdly enough, Alistair, the ghost type gym leader in Pokemon Shield exclusively.
Yes.
Yeah, that's me. Except for the fact that he's like a frail child. I'm close to that, but not quite.
Alistair's pretty cool.
I see him and I see his like weird like misfit style walking around, and I'm just like, you know what? I like you.
Who does he take the place of?
I think it's the fighting type in Sword.
B? Oh, anyways.
I'll look it up.
Isn't B or Bia or whatever the fighting type?
I'm googling this right now because we're gonna figure it out.
Well, because I know the ice type and the rock type because it's like aunt and nephew or something, or mother daughter or brother son. So I don't know, something like that.
I'm gonna figure this out.
It's like Melanie and Gordy.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about. Exclusive gym leaders. Here we go. Where did you take me?
Oh no.
Okay, there we go. Okay, gym leader exclusives in Sword and Shield. Certain towns have different gyms with different gym leaders. Blah 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 blah.
Yes, which ones?
In Pokemon Sword, B is the fighting type gym leader for the Stow-on-Side gym. This is the 4th gym in the game.
Yeah.
He is a prodigy in Galar Karate. Yada yada yada.
B's pretty cool.
And then there's also Gordy, the rock type.
Yeah.
Pokemon is the 6th. And in Shield, you have Alistair, ghost type, for the 4th gym.
And Melody.
Yes, Melanie, the ice type.
Yes.
Where did we land on for ghost? We going A?
Yeah, I think they're A. I don't think they're S.
No, I get it. They're up, like, aesthetically, I think they're an S for me.
Yeah, they're very cool, but they're not good enough to be S.
Yeah. Like, in use of the actual game, they're kind of whatever. Dark type. I gotta pull up a list because, they're very similar to Ghost. So I wanna say aesthetically, again, they're up there for me. But I could be wrong. I want to look through the list and make sure I'm not realizing that there's some dumb ones.
I actually genuinely don't like a lot of dark types.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, there's that
it's not that they're in general like bad. It's just there's not that many that I look at and go, I want you on my team.
Okay. There's those dumb Alolan forms of Meowth and Rattata.
Oh yeah.
And Zigzagoon. Oh, that's Galarian. Fuck.
Yeah.
That being said,
Obstagoon is pretty cool. I like Obstagoon.
I wanted to say Houndoom, Dark and Fire.
Houndoom's cool.
Houndoom's just scary dog boy, and he's pretty fucking cool.
Pangora's good. Hydreigon, also good.
Bisharp, interestingly enough,
I don't like Bisharp at all.
I don't like the way they look, but I read their story about how they were like they existed before humans did, and they were like fighting with some other type of Pokemon that's kind of in the same vein, humanoid with swords. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool,
Okay.
I don't know. Like there was a backstory to it. And I was like, that's way more than I thought it was gonna be.
I have actually used a lot of dark types. Now that I'm looking at a list, I have used Zoroark,
Yveltal, or whatever the Pokemon Y legendary was.
No, I didn't play. Nah, it's not. But okay.
Oh, there's a dumb one. Stunky. What a loser.
I will admit, Stunky was... there was a character with Stunky in Pokemon Explorers of Sky, I think.
Okay.
And
sure.
Skuntank was the leader of Team Skull, which was the antagonistic rescue team that was always kind of causing trouble for you guys, but they're not really evil per se. They want to do good things, but they're like borderline. Like they want to do good things, but at the same time, they're like, would it really be that bad if we like rob from people? I think that'd be chill, right?
I've been waiting to make this joke. They're PETA, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, actually.
Thanks, man. I was like, I had that joke in my head like 30 seconds before you stopped, and I was like, ooh, pick me.
I was kind of wondering. I felt the energy.
Yeah, you felt the surge through my microphone, just like PETA.
Yeah. But I don't know. That kind of gave them a little character. That the team was like Skuntank, Zubat, and Coughing.
Okay. There's also Greninja. I always forget is Water and Dark.
Greninja's cool as heck. Greninja's one of the. I feel weird about it because, like I said, I don't really like humanoid types generally. But Greninja, so cool. Incineroar, also very cool.
True. Surprised there's not a... Oh, I mean, Houndour. Or Houndoom. is the only dark and fire. I really thought there was more than just that one.
Yeah,
well,
you know,
go ahead.
They try to keep a lot of the types end up surprisingly rare. Like fire and psychic. Victini was the first fire and psychic, even though we had plenty of Pokemon that should have been fire and psychic.
Victini was dope too. My absolute favorite.
I remember I got really salty when Victini came out. Yeah. Because they advertised Victini. Saying the first ever fire and psychic type Pokemon. And I was like, yeah, because you never would give the psychic types Ninetales.
Oh man, you waited for that to come full circle, didn't you?
No, genuinely. I felt really passionate about this at the time. Like, I hated Victini simply because it was psychic and fire when Ninetales wasn't.
I'm just saying, like, you brought that up, I mean, half an hour ago.
I know, yeah. It came back around. Yeah, it came up again.
Yeah, it came full circle. Were you planning on that?
No, not at all. I'm genuinely passionate about it.
Okay. So, how did we get here? We're on dark type.
We're talking about fire and dark.
Oh, yeah.
And how
irrelevant.
That's very rare for no obvious reason.
Right. Okay, well, dark type, I feel like I put it, I don't want to say lower than Ghost, but
I think it's in the same tier, and that's kind of the thing. Like, I hate to say it, but most types are just good. Pokemon are good.
They're good.
Genuinely, like that's why they're so popular, because they're good.
Right. And that kind of makes a point to the balancing of the game. Is like, if you don't feel like any of them are just god awful and failures, then they're balancing the game decently well.
Right. And that's one thing. Interestingly, the stuff that we have in C tier is all stuff that most people consider not very good competitively, and as if the type needs a boost to be more useful. D, flying, a lot of people agree with the reasons that we gave there. They're just birds. Why are they, why is this a specific type? And so...
So what you're saying is we should, when we finish this episode, we should just put it on a DVD and mail it to Nintendo, and then they'll know what to fix.
I mean, yeah, we could add some notes, maybe some suggestions.
Yeah. We've got a little notes thing over here on the right next to the list. We can just write a whole thing out, write a whole dissertation. It'll be fun.
Make ice types resistant to fairy.
Okay, yeah, you write that down in the notes. And I'm going to move on to Steel.
Sure.
Steel-type Pokemon. I have the same problem that I do with both Bug and Flying, in that they're just metal. I could be wrong.
I don't disagree. I do not disagree. Steel types... There are some cool ones, for sure. Mm-hmm. But in general, steel types are steel types because they're made of metal. Just like rock types are rock types because they're made of rock. Wow. Yeah. Now, there are weird ones that just blow my mind, like Empoleon randomly is steel.
Yeah.
And
he's also one of my favorites.
Lucario.
Oh, that's right.
I look at Lucario and I'm
psychic?
Like... Yeah. Yes. I look at Lucario and I'm like, well, obviously it's a fighting type. Wrong. Oh, also Mawile is like Steel Fairy, which I like Mawile a lot, but there's nothing about Mawile that looks steel in the slightest.
Right. I was looking at the Alolan form of Sandshrew. I love it to death. It's the cutest thing in the world, but it's ice and steel type.
Oh, it's steel.
Yeah. And the Sandslash, the evolution of it looks badass.
Yeah.
But I don't use ice or steel types. I don't think I ever have. So
I have used steel types. Notably, they're just super good walls and generally strong Pokemon all around.
Yeah.
They have very good
I take
stats
that back.
as well.
Empoleon, obviously.
Huh.
But again, with my starter, I always I'm going to give him Surf, and I'm going to give him Water Pulse, and I'm going to give him Water moves, and nothing but Water moves. Oh, Lucario is fighting in Steel.
Okay,
by the way.
fighting Steel. That's what it is.
Which is interesting because, in both the TV show and of all things, the most lore-heavy thing of all, Super Smash Bros., he talks and speaks telepathically and stuff.
Yes, well
So I kind of assumed he was...
The whole Pokemon is based around auras.
Yeah,
and
so you'd think there'd be a psychic aspect.
Yeah, I think that was the
Fairy.
main thing. I really thought they would be fighting Psychic, and then they're fighting Steel. And I was just left sitting there what about them as Steel? Why are they Steel? Because they have spikes on their hands? Cool.
I just saw Zamenzada and Zacian? I don't know.
Yeah.
The Sword and Shield legendaries are steel types.
Uh-huh.
One Sword being fairy and Shield Boy being fighting.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that, to be honest. I haven't... You don't actually... Ooh. Massive spoiler ahead. You don't capture them before you beat the game.
Yep.
I'm going to leave a little post-edit in there that's hey, cover your ears in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Because I feel bad I just said that. But, yeah, you get the point. So that's interesting. I didn't know that was their type.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like them very much at all, in general.
Yeah. Well, I got Shield because I was I don't want a Pokemon with a sword. That's kind of stupid. Or at least that's how I saw it. Was I
And
don't
instead
want
you chose
Pokemon
a
with
dog
weapon.
with a shield face.
Yeah, because I didn't want a Pokemon with a sword.
Yeah, but you could have had Sif. You could have had Sif from Dark Souls. And instead you chose to have I can't even say it.
Are you insulting me for buying Pokemon instead of Dark Souls?
No, I'm insulting you for choosing a dog that ran really fast on a brick wall over Sif, the wolf from Dark Souls.
Oh my god, a dog who ran really fast at a brick wall is the harshest roast for anything I've heard in a long time. I feel like if you called a person that, they would be just as offended and probably laugh just as hard as I just did.
That's good to know.
Oh my god. Yeah, God bless you for that one, Yen. That was good. I'm a fan. You're a funny guy, man.
I had a hard time saying it because I was laughing at my own joke before I even said it. And I thought, it's so good. I gotta say it. I gotta just get through this laughter so I can...
If you can't laugh at your own jokes, God bless you, man. That was great. So Steel-type Pokemon suck.
I honestly, I don't know that they're C tier just because they're so strong. They're not
Are they
in
good?
They're really strong, and there are a few cool ones.
I am a heavy defense kind of player when it comes to those games.
Oh, and they are full of defense.
Yeah, so I don't know why I'm being so harsh on them. I'll put them in B.
Yeah, I think B's where they belong. They're not cool enough to go into A, even though they're the strongest competitive. Except for maybe this last one.
Oh. What were you saying? What were you saying?
Fairy. The
fairy
bane
type.
of dragons.
Yeah, so just great. And episode's over?
I mean, kind of. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When they added fairy to the game, I was like, oh, good. They're adding something that beats dragons, because the only other thing is ice. And why would you run ice? Ice is bad.
Yeah.
So then they added fairy. And they made it resistant to fighting type and bug type, and not resistant to dragon, immune to dragon type attacks.
Oh, that's right.
And then resistant to dark. And it's weak to poison and steel. Okay.
Hey, Nintendo. That's weird.
I mean, I understand the poison and steel thing because it has to do with like fairies being like nature spirits. And there's a whole bunch of like mythology about steel, iron being the end of mythical creatures or whatever.
I'm shrugging so hard at that right now.
But
okay,
they added fairy type to nerf dragons, and they buffed poison, which I'm about that. Buff poison all day long, please.
Sure, why not?
And they buffed steel, the strongest defensive type. They buffed it. They said you also get to be strong against the only good thing that counters dragon now. It's like, okay. And fairy types, you get a bunch of resistances against random stuff just because cool, why not? and they gave them resistances to things that were already not meta. You weren't running bugs or fighting because they were already bad. And then they said, you know what? Let's make everybody use fairy types and make fairy types resist those things.
So, can I point out a theory that I have?
Sure.
Pokemon number 35 in the index, Clefairy, was a normal type.
Yes.
So they probably just looked at that and was like, okay.
Well, there were a bunch of normal types that really ought to have been some sort of fairy type, like right out the gate.
Yeah. No, I'm looking through the list and I'm like, yep.
Just like sound types don't exist.
Oh, yeah.
But there's like a trillion sound Pokemon for no obvious reason.
Right. Jiggly. Is that copywritten?
I hope not.
I didn't finish it. It's fine. They can't. We're not getting paid. Who cares?
I mean, here's the thing, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
It has to be like 50% your own work. And I'm pretty sure that song consists of only one word, and you said half of the word. So I think we're doomed.
Shit. Okay. Well, I'll cut that part out. I'm not gonna cut it out. Fuck you.
I wouldn't expect so.
Yeah, no, that's
fairy
ridiculous.
types.
Yeah, fairy types. Mr. Mime is a fairy type. So I think they're an S.
Fairy types. There are some good fairy types.
Yeah.
I will say I hate how Grimmsnarl looks.
Okay.
I cannot stand how Grimmsnarl looks. I think it is weird and kind of disgusting. I really don't like it.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
I think it's supposed to be like a what are they? Nymphs? Is that the right word that I'm looking for? Probably not.
I hope not, because if so, you're thinking of some weird nymphs.
Nymph is an ancient Greek. I could be wrong. I'm definitely wrong.
Yeah, I was about to say you're wrong. I hope you're wrong.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the nymphs you're talking about are just weird. But no, it's like a gremlin.
That's okay.
A gremlin or a goblin or a...
The goblin makes sense. Gremlin's a one in 80s horror movie.
A gremlin, a goblin, a gobbledygook, a spook, a hobgoblin.
You're getting
it's
there.
one of those.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
Hobgoblin actually probably makes the closest amount of sense, actually, because they're like little goblins, right?
I have no idea.
Okay.
In D&D, they're not little; they're big.
Oh. Well, I'm thinking of a Fable, the video game. You fight the little hobs.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Grimmsnarl was supposed to be like a big version of that, whatever those are supposed to be.
Yeah, so it's based on evil fairies, basically.
Yeah.
Not evil, mischievous.
Evil.
The ones that pull pranks.
Pool prey. I'm sorry. I can't help myself.
But I don't know. I just like fairy types. They're fine. In fact, they should probably be A tier. But I hate them because it was such a good opportunity to buff some weak things and weaken some strong things because they added an entire new type to do just that, and they mucked it up. They mucked it up real bad.
We can agree that they're pretty garbage, right?
Well,
not garbage, but they're like the Pokemon are kind of and the types are strange.
I don't really like them. I'm sad that they have the type matchups that they do, and that the opportunity was not taken more advantage of.
It needs some improvement.
Balance the game a little bit more with it.
No,
they have an aesthetic. I think that's good.
Okay.
They're very strong in the meta.
Sure. I can't help but feel like I want to put them in D, because like the strengths and weaknesses is very strange. I don't like a lot of the way they look. I understand why it's there, and I feel like it's got the potential to really balance the game out a little more, but I don't feel like they need to be high up on the list.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, like I said, jokingly F for fairy. D, I guess. I don't actually think they can be D tier. I don't think anything is as bad as flying. I think flying is by far the worst thing.
Okay.
Which is funny, but maybe it's F for flying. Actually,
I don't think we can do it to him like that.
No.
I feel like
I think we're pretty good in our confines here, but I don't know that fairy is. They're too good competitively, and they have too much of a theme for me to think they're that bad. I could say C.
I'm 100% for it.
They're probably technically A, but
no.
I don't really like their aesthetic.
Yeah.
And they disappoint me. So
it's too off, you know? I feel like there's good potential for fairy types, and I think if they do something to fix it in the future, maybe, then it could be great. But right now it's kind of...
could have been.
C for could have been. Damn. All right, so I think that does finish our tier list. We don't have a tiebreaker. Are we cool with water being S?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Cool. Yo-yo.
I mean,
we
honestly,
get along great.
Yes. Yes, we do.
I said your name.
It's fine. I don't care, really. I kind of care, but at the same time...
I get it.
Just don't say my middle name. It's Danger, by the way.
Yo-yo. All right, so we don't have a tiebreaker, and thankfully we don't really need one. I'm really content with the way this all looks. But I found this wonderful picture, and I want to make sure I find it again. It was for Pokemon moves, and someone else made their own tier list long before we did, because we're not original. We don't come up with anything ourselves. No, we came up with the idea, and then it just so happened that other people have done it. So we found a Pokemon type tier list made by someone else, not ours. And I want to give credit to this person, but I don't see their name. I don't see their name on the DeviantArt page. This is on tiermaker.com, actually. I want to point out, they have the same, like, nothing is below D.
Yep.
They don't even have E or F on their tier list. So we have at...
They definitely heavily disagree with us, though.
Oh, yeah. At S, they have... It's a little blurry. We have Ghost and... Fairy. Yeah, so these guys are wrong.
Yeah, I was about to say, so that's straight wrong, unfortunately for them.
I was interested in this because I originally thought, like, this could be our form of the tiebreaker, where it's like if we had any things that we were like, oh, we can't decide if it's A or B or whatever, then we could look at this one and be like, this person. Now I'm glad we didn't disagree because, wow, that's wrong.
Yeah.
What do we have in A? I see dark.
We share dark.
Okay.
We have water in S.
Yep. They have ice in A.
They do.
These people are gross. I'm sorry. That's mean, but I don't know if they're going based on anything that we went off of or if they're just like, these moves look cool. Or
yeah, see, I'm not really sure because when I see fairy in the top, I'm like, okay, so that must be like competitive.
Right.
But then I don't think Ghost is super strong competitive by any means. And I know for a fact Ice isn't that great.
No, not in the slightest.
And Rock is actually really good. And they've got a D.
Yeah, so fix your tier list.
Yeah, I don't think we necessarily needed this extra tier list for anything at all.
No.
In the slightest.
No. But you know what? We're trying new things. It's episode 2.
Every episode is an experiment.
Yeah. And it probably will be for the first... excuse me?
What?
Excuse me? What did you just say? I'm sorry. Yeah, so I mean, you know, we're trying different things because we can't have a tiebreaker every episode because of scheduling issues. But yeah, so fuck their tier list. Ours is better. Water and grass for the win. A tier, we got fire, poison, electric, ground, dragon, ghost, and dark. B, normal, psychic, rock, and steel. C, fighting, ice, bug, and fairy. And D, flying because they got to do something about that.
Yep. I agree with literally all of this stuff. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I still feel like No, it's fine. I'm looking at steel on B, and I'm like, I feel like that should be lower, but I'm not mad at it. It's just kind of like, I'm not used to it. I didn't see it in my head. You know, when I envisioned this tier list for myself, steel was much lower.
If they weren't so... Like, because we're doing this as a kind of general everything...
Right.
I feel like they have to end up being higher.
Yeah. No, I'm
than
for
I
it.
would normally put them. So,
well, I shouldn't say I'm for it, but I'm not against it. It's whatever. Don't talk to me ever again for having steel in the B category. Yeah. I think this is it. I think we're good.
Yeah, seems like it.
Do you want to do another?
Well, I mean, we signed a contract. 7,000 of these bad boys.
Oh, that's
I mean,
right, man. Episode 2 of 7,000. I was thinking about that when I said the intro. I wanted to say episode 2 of 7,000, but I was like, I don't know if I want to bring that back. If it's just gonna piss you off, I didn't want to say it. But
no, I mean, it's a bit late if we don't fulfill the bargain. You know.
Yeah, let's just record 30 of these
Lost
in the next
souls and
couple hours.
So that's rough.
Oh,
what? Did you not read the fine print? Did you not know about that?
I did sign it in blood, but I didn't read it. I just felt like that was this font was so small. I
see. You might have made a grave error, but you know what? We made it together, so we'll get through it together. And that's what's important.
Am I going to hell?
No, not if you do 7,000 episodes.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. Let's do another. Let's do another 30 just to be safe. That would take us more than 2 days straight.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck that.
Actually, very surprising. But,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, fuck that.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening in. I hope you enjoyed this here Tier List Tuesday, and I hope you'll be here for the next one. If you disagree with us, feel free to comment down below. We'll check them out. You know, maybe we'll see you on the next video. Till then, happy Tuesday.